Now, the countdown is on to next Friday's 2 referendums to change our constitution. One of these is about family and is being referred to as the family amendment. In this amendment, there's one vote for 2 proposed changes. The 39th amendment proposes to amend Article 41(1)(1) to insert the words "whether founded on marriage or on other durable relationships." It also proposes the deletion of the words "on which the family is founded" from Article 41(3)(1. To debate this proposed amendment, I'm joined by Eamon Ryan, Minister for Transport, Climate and Environment and Communications and leader of the Green Party, and by Michael McNamara, Independent TD for Clare. I'm going to begin by asking each guest to outline why they're advocating for a yes or a no vote. You have up to 2 minutes each, and we're going to start with the government representative, Minister Eamon Ryan, who's calling for a change to the Constitution.
Yes, to modernise and improve our Constitution, to express our values, to express the reality in Irish society today that there are huge numbers, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of families who are there not through marriage but through the various circumstances that they set up and have and manage and live within and celebrate their family. And be that a single parent or be that a couple that may have been cohabitating, raising children for many years but haven't done that accompanied by married vows, they are just as important. They're just as significant, and it's important that our Constitution reflects that reality and that we value them just as much as those who are in marriage. And it doesn't in any way diminish or restore or take away the value of marriage or the support for or the recognition of marriage and the protection of it, but it does broaden the definition of family. And I think that is appropriate. That's why people should be voting yes to this amendment on the 8th of March next.
OK, Minister Eamon Ryan, thank you very much indeed. Michael McNamara, why a no vote?
Because I think at best the proposed changes will be meaningless. They won't add any additional protection or benefit to anybody, and at worst they introduce confusion and uncertainty to the law, and confusion and uncertainty is to be avoided in the law where possible. The idea of what a durable relationship is confusing. It's not defined. The government were given the opportunity to say that it would be durable relationship as defined by law, so that the Oireachtas could define it. They declined that. I heard the Taoiseach on RTÉ television today saying that of course we'd be able to define it in law, but we won't. It will be for the courts to define what it means, and if we don't like the definition, there will be no way to change it in the Dáil or in the Oireachtas. The only way to change it will be another referendum. So I think it'll introduce uncertainty without bringing any benefits, because the Constitution, contrary to what some people are claiming, already provides considerable protections for everybody, individually and collectively, that are in a family.
OK, thank you very much indeed for that. Let me start with one of the main points of discussion in this particular referendum debate that we've had so far, Minister Eamon Ryan. Just today, the second largest farming organisation in the state, the ICMSA, wants the government to clarify what a durable relationship means ahead of the referendum. Can you define it for them?
Durable relationship, my understanding, is long-lasting, stable, something that is not just temporary or very recent. It is something that has been consistent and is part of that family's system and structure for many years. It is right for the courts to decide exactly that, because there are a variety of different relationships and circumstances, and I don't think Constitution should be so prescriptive. It's not there to do the job of either the courts or the legislature in terms of setting out in absolute precise detail the exact circumstance of every family. So I think they are appropriate words. Government spent obviously a long time thinking, how do we give the right amount of responsibility to the courts, but at the same time give the flexibility so that we can be inclusive and not exclude a variety of different relationships.
Do you take issue with that definition then, Michael McNamara?
Well, I say it simply just, I don't know what it will mean. I mean, how long, how stable? I mean, we had the chair of the Referendum Commission saying that it could be perhaps proof of that could be receiving Christmas cards together. So, I mean, that's a very different idea to somebody who's lived together all of their life, and we don't know what it will be. I mean, the point of a marriage is you freely enter into a marriage. You know you're entering into a marriage. You choose to do so. You may find yourself in a durable relationship as defined by the courts without realising you were in one. The Taoiseach was on RTÉ television this afternoon on his own. There was nobody from the other side. I presume that will be addressed, but he said that it's a concept in EU law. But Roderick O'Gorman, the minister's colleague, when he was introducing this in the Dáil, said it would be a different definition relation to EU law. So what will it be? Nobody knows, and the Oireachtas will not be able to determine it.
Can you define how long, how stable is a durable relationship?
No, that is something that our law works, as Michael knows more than anyone else, where you build up case law and precedents, and it is in this instance, I believe it is corrective for us to rely on our independent court system to look at that, and that is what they're best placed to do. If we would try to define that in the Constitution, we would get into real technical details, which a Constitution is not there to do. It's there to set clear values and clear constitutional rights that we might want to provide.
So what do you say to the ICMSA, who are saying today that farmers are contacting them about the referendum, expressing concern about the lack of a definition of durable relationships and the government's failure to provide such a definition to voters? And they also mentioned succession rights, for example, that there might be an ambiguity there because of this lack of definition. What do you say?
I don't believe there will be any impact on succession rights. I heard the chair of the Referendum Commission being asked that question on I think it was this show or one of the RTÉ radio shows last week, and I think she very clearly and independently said the referendum or voting yes here wouldn't impact on inheritance rights or succession rights. So I don't believe that fear would actually turn out to be based in to have any reality.
What else is your concern then in relation to this, Michael?
First of all, I don't accept that there's that certainty that it won't surround because surround succession rights, because the Chief Justice in a recent decision, O'Mara, which basically found that a discrimination between a family which was not founded on marriage and a family that was founded on marriage for the purpose of widowers' contributory pension, that discrimination was unlawful. So, I mean, that proves that there's already a great degree of protection.
But he said it's right to leave it to the superior courts to define what it is.
I think that's completely wrong, because the superior courts will define what it is when two people who are in disagreement end up in court. Now, they will end up in court because it's the superior courts. They'll have to have a solicitor, a junior counsel, a senior counsel. Now, maybe many of Eamon's constituents have the financial wherewithal to go to the High Court, the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court to determine what their rights are. But many of my constituents don't have that degree of largesse, and would expect that something as important as this would be clearly defined for them, and would be clearly defined for them by TDs and senators that are elected to do so. But the way this has been done is to take that power away from the Dáil, away from the Senate, and hand it to the courts.
Well, just first, I think we should be careful here. A referendum is up to the citizens. That's when we as citizens decide. I don't think scoring party political points are kind of insinuating one constituent is different from another. Every constituent is sovereign in this.
And very few have the money to go to the superior courts.
Who's also sovereign in this case, who we also have to think of, is, as I said, the hundreds of thousands of Irish families who are not recognised in the Constitution currently. And the failure to vote, the voting no in this Constitution would be saying to them, sorry, you don't count. We don't include you in our definition of families, and we're not going to recognise that within the Constitution.
You accept that, Michael McNamara, that by voting no, you keep those families from being recognised in the Constitution?
I don't, because all people in Ireland enjoy protections in the Constitution, and all people in all families in Ireland enjoy protections.
So
there are different articles that provide different degrees of protection.
Is there a protection in the Constitution for the type of family that the Minister mentions, a one-parent family?
Well, people who are in a one-parent family, both people in that one-parent family enjoy rights that they can go, if necessary,
individually,
go to court and collectively.
So where is a collective?
Article 42 arguably provides a collective right to some. No, well, it does.
Has that been held?
It has been found to do so, but Article 42 around education, parents' decision making, the family being the determining the education, the moral education that the children will have. So there are rights already recognised in the Constitution. But there is a difference in the Constitution, I accept, between a family founded on marriage and a family that isn't founded on marriage. But that doesn't mean that any discrimination between the two is acceptable. In fact, the courts have found to the contrary very recently in the O'Mara decision.
And voting yes backs up that decision. It actually modernises the Constitution to reflect that decision. It actually avoids us having to go to court in that regard. It avoids someone having to take the case, to take the expensive legal route that you mentioned earlier on. This actually recognises that decision and puts into our Constitution the key implication of it, that we treat every family equally. And I think the Irish people are going to vote yes for that on the 8th of March.
Well, I think it will introduce huge uncertainty around what is a family, because you can't define what a durable relationship is. Your definition is different to Roderick O'Gorman's definition, to the definition that the Taoiseach set out on a different RTÉ channel this afternoon when he said it'll be the same as in EU law. Roderick O'Gorman said it won't. So we don't know what it will be, and introducing uncertainty is never good.
Can I bring in another element, which is tangential, I suppose? How, Minister, will the Constitution or the state guard with special care the institution of marriage if it affords an undefined, durable relationship the same status?
Because come back to what I was saying earlier on, it will not be interfering in any of the inheritance or other rights that do come from marital or other situations at this present time. So it's not going to amend or change the existing powers or the existing provisions that are given to protect marriage in our state.
But just to be clear, is a proposal saying it will be the same, a durable relationship and the family based on marriage? And if so, how do you guard with special care the institution of marriage?
The marriage, as I said, where in Irish law or where in the Irish Constitution has rights, that will not change. But it will also provide, in other aspects of Irish law, and the law is complex this in terms of the various implications, that it will recognise where we're supporting families, and that's what the wording is changing in relation to, that there we will treat everyone equally. It will not in any way diminish those who are married, but it will accord the same rights to those who are in durable relationships.
What's wrong with that, Michael?
Well, on the one hand, Eamon is saying that all families will be treated the same. Every married couple will be treated the same as an unmarried couple who are in a durable relationship, and they'll be treated the same. And on the other hand, he's saying that there will continue to be a difference. The Taoiseach explicitly told me in the Dáil when I asked that it will be still possible to discriminate against in favour of married couples and against unmarried couples. So that is not this utopia that Eamon is sort of pointing out, that everybody will be equal before the law, because they won't. So I mean, what I'm struggling to understand is what exactly this referendum will change, other than introducing uncertainty, other than introducing this concept which is not defined, which the Oireachtas haven't been allowed to define and won't be allowed to definitively define. It'll be for the courts to define as to what constitutes a durable relationship which will found a family in exactly the same way as a marriage will.
Okay.